Electricity workers have suspended their industrial action hours after it started on Wednesday. The decision to suspend the strike for 2 weeks was part of the outcome of an emergency meeting summoned by the Minister of Labour, Ngige. At the end of their 3-hour-long meeting, the workers agreed to suspend the industrial action, which has thrown the country into a total blackout. The workers expressed optimism that government will listen to their voice of reasoning and prioritize their welfare and well-being.
The issues that we had, I thank the Honorable Minister and the Minister of State for Power for their maturity in handling these issues that were brought up. Yes, these issues could have been tackled earlier on if there was the rightful communication with all parties. But well, as we have said, we've been given 2 weeks to which to report back to the full House. Well, we assure the nation that such crisis will be nipped in the bud before it escalates.
Now, senior correspondent Sharon Ejason joins me on the news for update on these developments. Thank you so much for joining us, Sharon. Well, Nigerians were actually thrown into a very serious, darkness yesterday, and some people, to their amazement, how come the entire nation, got into darkness? Walk us through how this whole thing emanated and where we are at the moment.
Well, the truth remains that first the strike has been called off, and it will be reignited in 2 weeks if the federal government refuses to yield to their demands. Their demands are simple. It has to do with the welfare of workers. However, I also experienced total blackout yesterday, and I really didn't enjoy that. But when we look at the way things have been going on for a while, you would understand that the union, Nigerian Union of Electricity Employees, actually have been writing several letters to the Ministry of Power, relevant stakeholders on what their demands are, and wanting the government to come to the table for further negotiation of the agreement that was reached in the year 2019. So the truth remains that since May 2022, several letters have been written, has been received by the relevant stakeholders, but they've not deemed it fit for them to call the workers to the table for further discussion for their demands to be met. And that was why they had to go to the extreme. Because if we look at it, it seems to be the only language that government actually understands, which is actually unfortunate, because we know that this definitely had effect on lives and livelihood and even businesses.
Yeah. Absolutely. A lot of business, are counting their losses as a result of the blackouts they experienced, just yesterday, less than a day, really, but it was very, very, impactful. So talk to us about what then the government discussed with them, when they had a roundtable discussion yesterday. What was the agreement?
The agreement was for them to give them 2 weeks to implement their demands. First, the workers' welfare. Most of the demands has to do with monetary value for workers. And even on social media, you realize people are like, oh, because they don't want to sit for promotional exams is the reason why they went on industrial action. That's not the truth. It's not because of promotional exams. I personally, as a journalist, covering the beat, ever since the sale of or the privatization of the electricity sector, it's been terrible, because you realize that you can't really hold anybody down. It's our wealth as Nigerians. We own the electricity, but it's been privatized. And when a business is privatized, you expect so much in terms of service delivery. When it's privatized, you expect so much as individuals. But what we realize is that the government keeps funding what has been privatized. Could it be that the buyers, the sellers are also the buyers? So there's so many things that definitely would make the workers want to get angry. And now is the time for them to get promoted according to the condition of service. According to the collective agreement that has been made, it's supposed to be written examination. It's at the point of entry that you do oral interview. Once you're already in the system, it's supposed to be written examination. And from the written assessment, you know what to do for those that would move to the next level. But what is the reverse is the case. They want an oral interview after the written interview, which is not out of place, but because the workers do not trust the system, they don't trust government, because those that are at the board at TCN are political appointees. So they are scared that, the people shouldn't just come from the back door, wouldn't even go through the process, who don't have the experience, who did not even write the written exam. So it's just because of the Nigerian factor in quote in some cases that actually made workers take that step. And assuming maybe the government actually gave them the opportunity of a roundtable discussion, a gentleman agreement that, this is the reason, it's going to be as transparent as possible. Perhaps even invite one of the members to be part of the people that would actually conduct the interview. Maybe they will trust the process more. So it's something that should not lead us to a total blackout on a normal day. Absolutely. If everybody sat down on the round table to discuss. And I think going forward, the government should be more responsive than reactive. Because when workers keep writing you and you keep staying away, then they go on strike, everybody now start rushing. At the end of the day, it's we, the ordinary Nigerians, that actually would suffer for it.
Well, it's so, quite amazing when we tend to see that this particular sector has been privatized, but still the government still has one or two things to do. And the reason why they went on strike in the first place is because the government failed to meet certain, expectations. But all the same, we'll continue to monitor this issue and then share together with you with your optimism. Senior correspondent Shannon Jackson, thank you so much for this insight. All right.